What's the point of having it then? Australia's Football Federation admitted that the video assistant referee technology they used encountered a technical failure that led to a controversial goal. According to the Federation, the incident took place at the grand final of Australia's A-League between Melbourne Victory and Newcastle Jets earlier this month. When Victory was delivering the ball from a free-kick play, the software that VAR system provider Hawkeye used crashed, resulting in the cameras partially losing 30 seconds of footage. During the glitch, 3 players in the Victory's outfit were already standing in offside position. The referees did not signal offside either. This failure allowed Victory's players to take the chance at controlling the ball, which later led to the controversial goal that helped the team clinch the league title. Greg O'Rourke, the head of Australia's A-League, said the technology failed on this occasion and the broadcast angles required were unavailable. They're working with Hawkeye's UK head office to prevent this from happening again. The Sydney Morning Herald reported Hawkeye's Australian branch declined to comment on the glitch. VAR was introduced as a technology-based solution to correct the human referee's errors when they need to make a decision in just split seconds. Last month, FIFA announced that Hawkeye will be the VAR system provider and will feature its camera prominently in all the FIFA World Cup fixtures in Russia this summer. Sit tight for more sporting stories. Ex-footballer jailed in China, but where are Trump and the media? Former Ball State College football star Wendell Brown has spent the last 14 months in a Chinese jail for a bar fight where authorities claim he hit a man. On September 24, 2016, Brown was at a birthday party when some other Chinese men not with his group wanted to drink with him. He declined, they got butthurt, and a fight broke out. Brown was later arrested for hitting a man, a claim he denies. He said he only raised his arms to block glass bottles that were being thrown at him. Wendell was taken to the Chongqing Jiangbei jail anyway, where he has been since. A court appearance in July saw the state's evidence against him fall apart, but with the Chinese prosecutors maintaining a 99.2% conviction rate, chances are slim Brown will get off. He's facing a 3 to 10-year sentence. His family has tried to hire a Chinese lawyer, but legal costs are skyrocketing, and China's ultra-fair and transparent legal system doesn't help either. The 3 knucklehead UCLA players who were dumb enough to steal from high-end stores in China had UCLA, Trump, and the U.S. media in their corner. Where are Trump and the massive media exposure now? Aaron Hernandez's brain had substantial damage. Research conducted by Boston University's CTE Center has revealed that former NFL player Aaron Hernandez's brain tissue had severe damage from sporting injuries. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy is a neurodegenerative brain disease typically found in people who have suffered repeated hits to the head. The repeated blows shake the brain and cause the buildup of tau proteins, which hold together microtubules in the brain cell's transport system. Tau protein buildup can gradually disable neural pathways and cause memory loss, dementia, and ultimately kill brain cells over time. 99% of NFL players included in the study were diagnosed with CTE, while 91% of college football players had the same disease. According to Dr. Ann McKee, a neuropathologist who directs research of chronic traumatic encephalopathy at Boston University, said her research team discovered Hernandez had stage 3 CTE and that they had never seen such severe damage in a brain at his age. Less than a year after signing a $40 million contract in 2012 with the New England Patriots, Hernandez was convicted for the murder of Odin Lloyd in 2013. Hernandez was also involved in a double homicide in 2012. On April 19, 2017, Hernandez hanged himself in a prison cell while serving a life sentence for murder. He was 27 years old. McKee and her team of researchers believe CTE severely impacted Hernandez's decision-making abilities during the events leading up to his death. Hernandez also inherited a genetic profile that may have made him more susceptible to CTE. Trump tried to criticize the NFL and NBA. It backfired. President Trump criticized NFL players who lodged protests during the national anthem and encouraged offended snowflakes to walk out of games. Last Friday, at one of his campaign rallies in Alabama, Shakespeare said this: "Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, 'Get that son of a off the field right now. Out. He's fired. He's fired.'" Trump whined that the protests are hurting the game. The commander-in-chief also said referees are ruining the game by calling 15-yard penalties for beautiful tackles. What happened next? The entire athletic world, even douchey NFL owners, joined together in solidarity and gave Trump the collective middle finger. Teams and NFL owners across the league on Sunday gave an unprecedented show of solidarity and support during the pregame anthem. In other hilarious sports news, Trump also decided to uninvite the NBA champion Golden State Warriors to the White House while singling out Stephen Curry for having doubts. Only problem is, it was already public knowledge the Warriors had already decided they weren't going to Washington. Players young and old from all over the sporting world have come out to blast the small hands in chief. So basically, Trump thought he could pander to his angry base and get some laughs. Instead, he just galvanized a movement. Well played, Mr. President. Well played indeed.
ESPN flamed for taking anchor Robert Lee off Virginia game. If you work on camera and happen to share your name with a controversial historical figure, you may have to reconsider your job prospects, or at least prepare to have your work schedule tweaked. Sports broadcasting giant ESPN is taking a barrage of heat online for its decision to remove one of its on-air announcers from a university football game in Virginia. In light of the recent mass protests in Charlottesville surrounding the Robert E. Lee Monument, whether to have it torn down or just let it continue to stand tall looking down on us, it seems the debate is as touchy as ever. Not interested in placing its corporate finger on a hot-button issue, ESPN has decided to sub out one of its anchors, Asian-American Robert Lee, from calling the play-by-play for the University of Virginia football team's home opener. The game is to be played on September 2nd, and while Mr. Lee has been switched to work a different game, moving him around simply because of the coincidence of his name isn't sitting too well with folks online. Many users have taken to Twitter to shake their heads about the lengths to which political correctness can go in 2017. In its defense, ESPN claims Mr. Lee was consulted on the matter and was not forced to switch his assignment. The execs at ESPN also claim they wanted to spare their recently promoted on-air personality from being subjected to internet memes and news headlines unnecessarily. Well, so much for that. Charlottesville City Council just voted to temporarily drape black tarp over the Robert E. Lee Monument in memory of fallen counter protester Heather Hare. So at least there's something being done out of respect over there. Hopefully, the controversy-free Mr. Lee will earn himself another promotion as a result of his employer going a tad overboard to protect him from the internet's meme generators.
Man, that's gotta hurt. A California man's post-gym downtime turned horrifying fast after his leg began spasming intensely. Angel Bermudez was sitting in his car when the painful cramp started. He managed to film the ordeal, which lasted at least 50 seconds, and put it up on Facebook. Muscle cramping is a common issue with people who work out or play sports, but what exactly causes it? Skeletal muscles, like those in the legs and arms, move in response to signals from the brain. If this process malfunctions or becomes hyperactive, it can lead to painful and prolonged contractions, otherwise known as muscle cramps. Cramps are sometimes caused by muscle strain, either by overusing a particular muscle or holding a position for too long. Other factors that may contribute to cramping are heat, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalance. Experts suggest stretching, both as a way to soothe cramps and as a means to prevent them. Individuals are also advised to keep hydrated and replenish their electrolytes when doing any strenuous activity. LeVar Ball is a big baby with a big mouth. Lonzo Ball is arguably one of the best players in this year's NBA draft, while his father LeVar Ball is without a doubt one of the biggest douches around. In an FS1 interview on The Herd with Colin Cowherd, LeVar made himself look like an ass. When host Christine Lay pressed him on how many Big Baller brand shoes he sold, LeVar childishly refused to look at Lay, called her a hater, and told her to stay in your lane. The outspoken father and Lay then went back and forth at each other. Big Baby brand released Lonzo's $495 basketball shoes a few weeks ago. LeVar claims to have sold 400 to 500 pairs of the Z02 shoes. On Wednesday, LeVar said that if Nike, Under Armour, or Adidas want to make a deal now, the price is $3 billion. Sure, why not make it $3 trillion? And yep, it looks like LeVar's dream of Lonzo playing for the Lakers is gonna happen. But Lonzo hasn't even played yet. He could very well turn out to be a bust. Talk is cheap. LeVar just needs to shut the hell up and let Lonzo's game speak for itself.